Welcome to Dark Crimes, everyone. This is your girl, Sincere.
Prince Solomon in the building here today. And looks like Charlamagne is in it again with some other stuff. Now, what happened with Ebro? Now, Ebro
just
called him a coon, right?
He just said stop cooning for white people, that's all. And
right. And he's been running around recently with Tomi
Lauren or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Look, we already...
Tomi Lauren.
Yeah, we had something... We already talked about this, about people who hang out with certain people who aren't for your constitutional rights or human rights, and why that is not a good idea. You can have cultural differences, you cannot agree on things, a lot of things, but when it comes to someone disagreeing with what is going against your human rights and your constitutional rights, that's something that cannot be negotiated with, or we are the world. So I do agree with Ebro that sometimes Charlamagne does do too much tap dancing around white people. At the same time, I'm not going to throw Charlamagne completely under the bus. He is doing stuff pertaining to helping and supporting black businesses, also promoting small black businesses, and he's doing his part. But that is a constructive critique that I would say to Charlamagne. Look, if you want to join forces with some white guy or white woman who disagrees with you on a lot of things, but are for people's constitutional rights and human rights, they're against the police state, they're against what's going on here, then that's fine. But Tomi isn't one of that person. She stated who she stands for, and that's the people from South Dakota and North Dakota who gets ignored, Middle America. And I
think I want to go ahead and put some very seriousness into the situation here. All right. Charlamagne, I never really got mad at too much what he said when it came to rappers and celebrities. All right. That's entertainment. He's still a jock at the end of the day, a shock jock, but for the most part, he's tapered off in the last years or so because he's looking to branch out into other territory. He does routinely chop it up with Steve Harvey, who he does idolize as a mentor, where he sees himself going hopefully in the next coming years. When he's branching off into the arms of a Tomi Lauren, that is, and he's basically giving her the pass on some ignorant things she said in the past, right? I mean, that's what it is. It's ignorant. She's just as remedial in her thinking when it comes to race and the police state as Elizabeth Hasselbeck. That's all it is. There's nothing special about Tomi. People are discussing her like her point of view is something new. No, she's just a millennial white girl with this type of thinking that has been reoccurring and concurrent with Fox News. Now, here's the thing, though, with Charlamagne the God. And this is going to be a problem that a lot of black people like Charlamagne the God is going to find themselves in the crosshairs of the general public. Even some of these pro-black people online, which they're right now, a lot of backlash is going to continue to kick up because right now, black people are not really in the mood for the jokes and games. They're not in the mood for a lot of the gray area talk. They're not even in the mood to hear that you actually have lunch with Tomi. All right. Black people are agitated on so many levels. So when you have this Trump administration, which we've broken down several times in previous podcasts, and why they're Bush 2.0 and why they're bad for black people in the police state for people in general, and Tomi, she's a part of that particular branch, the millennial branch, offset of the Milo Yiannopoulos branch as well, that helps foster ideas and notions that black people are a threat, or they're giving credence to the talk and rhetoric of a Rudy Giuliani. This is a problem here because on one hand, Charlamagne cannot say that he is for black people, but at the same time, you're suggesting black men and black women, well, mostly black women and brown women, get like Tomi. What does that mean? You can't say that because what does it mean to be like Tomi? Tomi, a lot of her statements are unfounded and she doesn't do any research a lot of times, and she goes off the cuff, and she does make blatant racial stereotypes of black people. So yes, I understand Charlamagne wants to break off into other avenues, but at the same time, he has to be prepared for the backlash of black people. All right. And that is his audience, whether he likes to admit it or not. Even that's why guys like Ebro will be taking more shots at him, and most public celebrities
it's a
too.
gray area that a lot of them have lived in, though. I mean, Steve Harvey had Paula Dean on his show. He's had
And he caught backlash from that too.
He had Eddie Long. I mean, that's not going into race though. But,
no, it's not.
Someone who was accused of pedophilia, and someone who a lot of people said is guilty. I mean, so you have people who live in these gray areas who are around unsavory characters, which is why I said, though, someone who goes against human rights, goes against constitutional rights, human trafficking, pedophilia, police state. These are things where people should draw the line. Period. It's something. It's something where people say, I can't fuck with you because you endanger my life and everybody I know. And it's something that we discussed when we, our previous podcast, when we was talking about the Donald Trump administration and things about relationships with other people you may differ with. Like I said again, if this person is against your human rights, your constitutional rights, is always negating things you have to fight for in order to survive, in order to maintain those human rights, in order to maintain those constitutional rights, you should not be palling around with them. You shouldn't be going to dinner with them. You shouldn't be taking them out on a date. You shouldn't, none of those things. I mean, if now again, there's free will. So if that's what you want to do at the end of the day, that's what you can do. But like Prince said, you can't say you're pro-black. You can't say you're pro human rights. You can't say you pro any of those things. I mean, she was asking Ditsy about Standing Rock. It's like, and I know a large part of it is for money, is to become known, is to become famous. She enjoys being talked about in different circles and having people watch her videos. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of people who made money off of Jews in internment camps. There's a lot of people who made money off of slavery.
Well, yeah.
I don't think y'all would want to go back in time and pal around with those people and just say, oh, well, they're just making money. Well,
the thing is here, what recently got Charlamagne into some crosshairs. Again, this was a tweet he posted. He stated, I guess he meant to say, would it be dope? But he said, would be dope if a young black or Hispanic woke, and he put those in quotation, I guess he's talking about the OTEP crowd, woke woman used social media to create a platform to be a voice like Tomi Lahren did. Now, here's the thing.
You already have black women who have a large following.
But here's the thing, though. The point is this.
Media. That don't even make any sense.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I understand if you're saying that black people in general take more advantage of social media, I could see that. But black people are taking advantage of social media. Fox News is a mainstream network.
Well, The Blaze. The Blaze is the one that gave her her job, and
right.
she just, it
but she
like
offsetted into Fox News.
Yeah, it's not like this Issa.
And that was Glenn Beck's network.
Yeah, it's not like it's Issa who totally made it on YouTube and then expanded.
Now that's who you give some props to.
Yeah, well, which he has, but I'm like this. Look,
well, it wasn't. Hold on, no,
I'm
going to say this.
For anyone who brought it up, she was on the Breakfast Club.
But I'm talking about this. Look, let's be real right now. Right now, he's strumming the violins for Tomi. All right, more so than he did an Issa Rae. He appreciated her as the artistic endeavors she was able to branch out to from YouTube. Now, let's be honest. Him being on it worked interchangeably both for them, right? With Tomi. When he went on to her show, or when he went on to talk to her about the Black Panthers, right? Mm-hmm. And she made those points, right, which was retarded. It worked for him because people that didn't really know Charlamagne got a chance to see him, and also it worked for her because now she's injected into the hip hop lexicon.
And it made him look more mature for the few times he's looked mature. But this is what I'm saying. Like, Charlamagne does this though. He gets in a space where people get comfortable with him, and then they forget who he is, and then he reminds them. It's no different when he made jokes about Lupita Nyong'o.
So what's the outrage about?
That's what I'm saying.
So I'm asking, people, like, what is the point of the conversation about Charlamagne then, if this is what he does? Because we all know that, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He made offhanded comments about Lupita Nyong'o. A lot of a portion of the black women got really angry when he was like, oh, she was given a affirmative action vote for the most beautiful person, and they played a clip about her talking about her dark skin and how she was able to love herself, and he was making fun of that. So it's like, I mean,
well, if that's the case, then at this stage in the game, I don't know if it should be a talking point with Charlamagne. I don't know if people should pay attention to it. I don't know. I don't even know if I can actually give a fuck. I mean, I really don't. Because look, I don't care about this shit. You know, we got shit going on with the Trump administration right now. We got to worry about the police state. I don't give a fuck about this pencil neck white girl, and I don't care what Charlamagne plans on doing from the situation. All he's gonna do is use it to, like he's been doing everything else, and it's been working for him.
But I think people are right to give constructive criticism, though. I mean, look, for me,
but I'm saying the criticism is fine, but the crying is what I'm trying to figure out.
For me, I don't care because I know he acts this way to begin with. And
all the way around.
Once people get comfortable with him and they think he's finally in a particular space, he always reverts back to doing something immature or stupid. And that's him. I mean, let's not forget this is, I'm not even going to go to his past history. It's irrelevant. People should already know. But that's why I'm not, all I would say, the thing that is atrocious is to think it's cool to be nice with someone who's against your human rights and your constitutional rights. That's all. That's the thing that is important that people need to call out. Ebro, what he said about it, it needs to be called out. Now, people crying like, well, I can't believe he would say that. Now, that's a different situation.
Come on, niggas.
I agree with you on
niggas.
That end.
Like, I'm just, you look, what do you expect? All right, let's just understand the trajectory of Charlamagne's career.
He's getting what he wants, though. People talking about him because he gave himself the donkey of the day for saying those comments.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like Charlamagne,
he sets him up and he knocks him down.
All he did was neutered himself. He's not, of course, he's not the same Charlamagne from the Wendy's days, and Wendy's isn't the same Wendy's from the Wendy's days.
They all are making money for it too.
Exactly. So when people act shocked, he only did this because he's the type of person they're gonna get mad. They're gonna say what
isn't
they say.
Isn't he working on a book, or has he already completed the book?
I think he's already completed it, but I'm not sure. But
yes,
a week later, no one's gonna care. He put Trevor Noah in there, made sure he just is propping up the platform more. The Trevor interview probably is gonna do very well. It's already out there on the Breakfast Club.
I'm gonna be real with you.
I'm just saying he's just hustling. It's a bear trap. He just set a bear trap. That's all he did.
Look, this is what people gotta understand, and they don't understand it. Attention is commodity on social media. It's a commerce. It's a whole economy. So even when you come to our videos and you talking shit, you're putting money into our pocket. When you going around and you watching Charlamagne and you hate watching, you hate listening, you're like, I can't stand him. I can't stand this nigga. He's a coon. Let me chime in and see what he's doing today. If he's a coon, don't watch him. Okay? Charlamagne has brought more attention to the Breakfast Club. That's his goal. He's the guy to pull everybody in because they want to see how out of pocket is he going to get in an interview. With this Tommy situation, it's clearly, I don't know if it's going to be successful or not in the long run, but as of right now, it is a power play for him.
Yeah, just like he's that's just him. He's been doing it. The only thing he did is just neutered himself. If he didn't get talked to by some of the OGs who were making money, he would have gone further than this. But now he realized there's a way he can make money. And this is the extent he will always go now. Even like with the offhand comments he made about Lupita's corny jokes and other things. Like, he does this. So, he's being talked about. We're talking about him. Ebro talking about him. Atlanta Black is talking about him. Ebony Magazine's talking about him. He gave himself donkey the other day. He had an interview with Trevor Noah. So it's just,
it's money in his pocket.
Yeah, like, people really think that he was gonna waste his time with a Tommy just to hang out with her. No, he probably won't even hang out with her no more. Who knows? But I will
say this about Charlamagne. From I don't know him personally, but his attitude seems pretty dry black when it comes to that. You can tell. Okay, yeah, I'm cool. And then when they'll ask him a couple days, no, we're not friends.
Yeah, so it's like there's people who came on the show that thought they were cool with Charlamagne, and he embarrassed them.
Yeah.
So it's like the only people I saw him show loyalty to are people he promoting. Revolt TV, Diddy, Jay-Z, Rock Nation.
Well, even Jay-Z
had the hat on.
Yeah.
He had the. So so it's like he shows loyalty to where he can get his money.
Look, I seen pieces of the article here on Ebony, and Brittany Danielle, all right, and she wrote this actually on December 7th. Not gonna read the entire article, but the gist of it is that she resented the fact that Charlamagne would even suggest that women of color should learn something from Tomi Lahren and her particular platform, as she stated, who spews racist views, her conservative pundits, that is. And it looks like here the article actually gained some traction. And of course, as you stated, Ebro reiterated those particular sentiments. Look, at the end of the day, I mean, you guys have to ask yourself, let's be honest, ask yourself, when was the last time a black radio jock, semi-shock jock now, I guess, had been talked about in this light?
None. And I would say it too, though, but here's the problem with it. There's no shock jock who's black who's trolling white people. I mean, you have comedians who are like Trevor Noah, what he did with Tomi on his show, but you have a lot of radio hosts doing it just to black people and trying to get in favor with those other groups, you know. So, yeah. I mean, I only
brought that question up because people, if you don't ask yourself that question, then you're not looking at the situation for what it is.
But on the flip side, even though it's about money, even though I said what I said and it's a bear trap and he's just doing what he's doing, the attention and money, he's going to flip it and people are going to forget about it a week. Just like they got mad about the Lupita comment and then they were over it. But
or even beyond Lupita, the little Ma thing.
But still, to get to the gist of my point, the problem is, though, that it's not funny when it's someone who's against your human rights and your constitutional rights. Like, no one would laugh if you and I go hang out with David Duke. Now, I'm not saying she's as far as David Duke, but still, let's say a Michael Savage.
She's in the same fucking space to me.
Or whoever. Like,
hey, look, let me tell you something. All the motherfuckers in the same space to me.
But my point... Yeah.
I know what you're saying politically on the spectrum, which ones delineate how far right are they, but I say they're all in the same space to me because at the end of the day, if they see a black woman get her arm twisted off or a black man get shot down 40 times, they're going to make a way to justify it.
Yeah, that goes back to what I said about the whole human rights, which was why he shouldn't have did that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
She goes against human and constitutional rights of black people, you know, and of other groups of people as well.
Well, also, Charlamagne, he has already seen this coming. You can't, when you're talking with certain guests, like, hey, yeah, pro-black. You sit down with Umar Johnson, pro-black, right? This is your rhetoric. This is what you're kicking out, you know. This is what you're saying. You're giving off the energy. Sometimes when he's sitting there, he's giving off the pro-black energy, right? So some people that are watching him are like, oh, okay, that's what's up. Then they see this here, Tomi Lahren.
To be real with you,
and
even if
folks
someone
will say
isn't
that
pro-black, I would be people should be disgusted because, again, you shouldn't have to be pro-black to not want to hang out with someone who's against people's human rights and constitutional rights.
Well, human rights, but I'm using that for a simple example because we don't look. A majority of our audience is a lot of black folks.
Yeah, people who live
and when we say you have to say black people when they're listening to black folks, they want you to acknowledge them. I don't like when we're talking about black folks. I don't do the Michael Jackson shit. We all the world. I want to say black people. That's what I'm talking about. When you're saying pro-black, and black people are actively listening, and all of a sudden they see you not only chopping it up with Tomi, right? She already held L's earlier, right? Then they hear you. Now you're promoting her against, let's say, black women or women of color. Now, when you see some sort of backlash that's kind of building, you have to understand where that's coming from. And I'm only contextualizing it how a person like that will see Charlamagne in his position, and then that's why they're saying what they're saying about him. This is why you have Ebro reiterating these sentiments that you see people floating around online. I'm saying that, but on the flip side, what folks do need to understand at the end of the day, Charlamagne is on his capitalistic endeavors, ethical or unethical,
Charlamagne,
and that's what he's doing.
Looked good when he was first on her show. Black people were praising him.
They sure was. Because guess what? He was hearkening what? Pro-black views.
But my whole point was, even if you're not pro-black, you shouldn't be hanging out with somebody who's against your constitutional rights.
Yeah, we know that.
And I just want to make it clear to them, because people think it just should be the people in a pro-black realm that should be held. No, it's not that. No, not you. Yeah. I'm making it clear. People think that you have to be pro-black in order to be to believe in black people's constitutional rights. And I'm saying, even if you're not a person who's like pro-black like that, you should be with somebody.
Here's the thing. Let me say this.
That's just crazy.
Whether you figure that you're pro-black or pro-humanity, you're pro-life. That's what I'm saying. The rhetoric that Tommy, Milo Yiannopoulos, Michael Savage, Alex Jones, he can kick all that freedom shit he want. Alex Jones, Paul Joseph Watson. We could go down the fucking list. All of these people are not speaking to pro-life for everybody. And for you to sit there and say she's cool, like, you have to understand why people are coming at your neck.
He said Bill O'Reilly was cool and people got comfortable with that at the row. He said he agreed with Bill O'Reilly on almost everything he said.
And that's why I said earlier, this goes back to my original point, what I stated at the beginning of this. We're just discussing this. At the end of the day, I don't have fucking time for this shit with Charlamagne or Tommy. I'm not trying to be funny, because a lot of y'all have invested way too much into a fucking radio job, a shot job.
Say this though too. I mean, like, come on, like, when they go on those people's shows though, it's a waste of time whether they're saying something nice, clever, getting at them or not. You know, it was a waste of time to interview Tommy on Trevor Noah's platform. It's a waste of time to go on her show and make her more popular, with Charlamagne did,
which is what he
introduced her to black people.
I'm gonna say this. So, this is how flip the shit is.
Real quick, is I think they probably have a deal behind the scenes. Who knows?
They fucking do. Come on, you look at the face, the photo ops. I mean, come on. Like, when are you niggas gonna figure out this shit is all about money and business? There's no ethics in business. It's war. Business is war. That's what the fuck it is. You make alliances at the times you feel you need it for your personal gain, or if you are speaking on behalf or acting on behalf of your people. Look, I will say this though. Tommy is benefiting from this situation culturally, people knowing her name, and in a degree more so than Charlamagne is being brought into her particular audience.
Oh yeah, that's why it's a stupid move on his behalf. Although, who knows? I mean, if he survived Dick Rodden, Bill O'Reilly, making fun of Lupita's complexion.
But okay, look, how about this? let me kind of.
If he survived that, he's going to survive. He gave himself donkey in a day. Yeah. He got Trevor Noah on his show. People are gonna just want to try to make sure educate him, feel his temperature, like they rushed to do with Yachty when he said, you know, Tupac wasn't that good. Big now I want to educate you, Yachty. I mean, it's not. Well,
you gotta ask yourself this though about the Bill O'Reilly thing. To millennials, does Bill O'Reilly really fucking matter?
No,
he doesn't. But they know who Tommy is though.
But they only know him now. Well, a lot of black people and other people who aren't Blaze watchers or Fox News watcher only know of her now due to Charlamagne.
You see what I'm saying? The benefit now does her staunch audience, particularly who may not even be aware of hip hop, like, right? Do they know about Charlamagne now? To the same degree we know about Tommy.
Probably vaguely. I mean, we this is only our second time of us talking about her, but I mean, it's not just Charlamagne. You have hip hop news who are at fault when she went at Jesse Williams and they all shared it. I mean, it's just a hustle. It's like, I'm not gonna get emotional over a hustle. I wouldn't even. The only reason why I'm talking about this, that we're talking about this, is to illustrate it to people. But it's just a hustle. It's a hustle. What I'm saying is though, people shouldn't put money into Charlamagne's pocket and to let him know, all right, this is something that we will not tolerate for you, man. Just in case you don't get it, just in case you're ignorant, maybe you really are doing a lot of stuff for black people and different things. But you feel that you can maneuver that quickly. They need to let them know, no, you can't do that. But in order to do that, you got to really show it. You can't just criticize him, say stop tap dancing in front of white people, say don't do that, Charlamagne, and then listen to his shit and let him make money.
But you
got to let him know, hey. And then once you hit him and he realize it, and you see
Here's the thing, though.
Then you can.
Here's
you can
the
get back
thing.
in there.
When I hear what you're saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the loophole for him will always be it's just entertainment. Even though people have demonstrated to entertainers that as a group collective, they're not going to tolerate certain behaviors that are as overtly egregious. This is subvertly egregious, right?
Yeah.
When Trump said what he said about Hispanics and NBC removed his show, The Apprentice, because the group flexed their muscle. We don't give a fuck if it is entertainment. We don't like what you just said. Charlamagne, he's very intelligent. He plays it up just enough or it just agitates people enough, but he never really tries to cross the line to the point where he's going to lose money.
But here's the thing, it works sometimes and it doesn't, because Hispanics try to flex and Latinos try to flex their muscle when it came to Saturday Night Live, and Trump still went on that show, and it's still broadcast, and people still talked about it.
Of course.
There's sometimes black people did get people fired. But sometimes that made people more popular. Sometimes it didn't.
Well, Charlamagne became more popular after he lost his job. Before.
And it was the wolf guy who said nappy-headed hoes.
I remember that dude.
Now, he actually fell and burned.
Yes,
right?
he did.
So, but sometimes that doesn't always happen. Paula Deen became more popular, even though that wasn't from black people's doing, though. They just wanted to get rid of her, and black people got the blame. But sometimes it works, because black people have done it, too.
Well, I saw when Steve Harvey was slightly resuscitating Paula Deen when he invited her to the show. And then when he had her on the show, I don't care about Slim. in the survey says. So that's look.
And that's
Charlamagne. The point.
That's one of many of Charlamagne's mentors. So you see him behaving in different, putting his hands in a different pot. Let's be real. It's not just him talking to Charlamagne. You also have people who really are pro-black talking to Charlamagne. I've seen them. You have people like Killer Mike talking to Charlamagne. Then you have people who don't give a fuck about the whole slavery or black, like what we said with Broomstick Mustache. What's his name again?
The survey said Steve Harvey.
Yeah, Steve Harvey. Then you have different types of people also talking to Charlamagne. And you see him just basically utilizing all of those fronts to get. That's what he's just doing,
It's hustle, man. And like, I just feel like this, folks. I'm not trying to be funny. Like, we're in an age of responsibility and on the behalf of the consumer. Look, if you're not interested, turn it off. If somebody offends you, turn it off. If you understand that it's a hustle, and you see some things you don't like, but you still understand it's a hustle, then you recognize the game and you keep moving. You do what you got to do. But look, y'all, Charlamagne linking up with Tommy, it got him trending. He made sure he stood next to her, and he did something on Twitter where he included black women into the fray as well. And we all know black women are drivers of Twitter as well.
And Charlamagne knows
and got to be retweeted several times. He didn't say nothing. He rarely addresses niggas. You see what I'm saying? So with Tommy, he went and found the prissiest white girl who says these low-key, snide, racist, bigoted comments, but she tries to flip it as intellectual conservatism to a degree, right? And Charlamagne, he stood next to her, and Ebro's talking shit about him.
Well, again, people are fine to call him out because the behavior is not good. Her walking around laughing, calling him, or her black friend, basically my little doggy, and he's laughing at that. But again, they made a deal behind the scenes when he first appeared on her show, when he made her popular in different demographics. He also know the power of black women on social media. He said something that wasn't true You know, you have people who already did use their platforms to create money without being salacious, to try to racist to get under other people's skin, like Issa Rae and other people. But hey, he knows it's going to work, and it did. And he,
look, yeah, it does.
I mean, there's a lot of people who
I mean, look how successful he's been.
Black women because they think because they're a trend. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, look how successful he's been with it. Look, I mean, it's just one of them situations, you all. Like, you have to ask yourself, where you really gonna stand on this shit? That's the real question. Where's the public gonna stand on it? Are they for it? Are they not for it? Are they not gonna do anything and just bitch and complain? Are they gonna act? Are they gonna try to get somebody removed? What are y'all gonna do about this? That's my question to y'all, because like I told Sincere now, we got too many other real bigger issues on our heads right now. But we are touching on, because we see people trending. I see, the fact that there are people in the comment section that really turn up, rightfully so, because of the fucking climate that we're in as well, which a lot of black people with large and big public platforms are going to find out how serious a lot of black people are.
Oh, and I'll just put out a warning too. If you was on your show and you've thrown somebody under the bus who didn't deserve it, and then now it's happening to you, karma. Yeah.
So we'll see what takes place here with this Tommy situation. I mean, unless these two people got a podcast they cooking up, or show that they're cooking up low key.
They don't. They've done enough for each other. I mean, at this particular point, more than likely they will separate. They did enough to make each other.
Again, I keep telling folks, I think Tommy, she's benefiting more from this in the pop culture sense
a lot
than
more.
Charlamagne, because
actually Charlamagne was in a good space where people thought the Bill O'Reilly and the Lupita comment was the end, and then they saw what he was doing behind the scenes, things he was saying, black businesses he was promoting. He was in a good space, and who knows? Maybe he wants to get out of that space to do something else.
He does. He does. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. I recognize the shit on his face. He wants to move around. He talks about it. Even when look, all of them, the Breakfast Club, all of them are terrific in their own way. DJ Envy, whatever the fuck they say about Envy, he still got clout in the game as one of the top DJs. Because he still came out doing with his series. He broke in a lot of dope artists that people are still jumping to today, or some of them that they feel are legends in the game. And you have Yee. She does what she does. She's very intelligent. She's able to help people with dealing with bad credit, and she
also does her interview circuit.
She has her own podcast,
breaking into.
She's doing she has her own businesses as well with Styles P.
She's juicing organic. Yeah,
she's doing a lot of things. Charlamagne wants to aspire to much more. He wants to be in that Steve Harvey space. See, Yee and Envy, they're content where they are. All they want to do is financially, just make sure they keep growing in with the income like most people. But you can tell Charlamagne is tired.
It's just a divorce. That's all. He just want to make sure that anybody who is perceived as Hotep, anyone who's perceived as really militant about black rights, or just, in constitutional rights, that they are off his dick. And now he can move on to wherever he wants to move on to.
I like what you said. It's just a divorce. So that's why you see him branching out again with the Uncommon Sense on MTV2. A lot of things he stood on, or people assumed he stood on. He's kind of relinquishing that a little bit. Same thing with Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey became less controversial in his comedic right, and he became more family orientated with a lot of his comedy things. A lot of racially vague comedy he started implementing in his act. Now he's just like a low-key light-skinned Bill Cosby. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And he smiles, and it makes everybody feel comfortable. I can't blame people for wanting to aspire more in this country, that is, but at the same time, constructively criticizing, hey, look, when you see people snapping back at your neck, like what's happening here to a degree with Charlamagne, hey, you got to see that. That's what's happening.
Well, that's Charlamagne's fault, because now it seems like she wants to go back to being a little bit more shocked. I mean, now he's getting hell for things he did when he was on the Wendy Williams show. I mean, when they had their little radio show together, and then when, he did unsavory things with certain celebrities he was on. Then he tried to paint a particular different image, and then everybody harkens back to what he did before, and then now he has all these the what he said, Plobrak and all these other people on him. Now he wants to move out of that. So whatever.
Yeah, I mean that's all this is here with Tommy.
Around.
Yeah, Tommy, like you said, it's been a quiet divorce, and Charlamagne, he wants to aspire to more. You can tell he even wants to break out of that hip hop box. You know what I'm saying? He wants to look. Come on, y'all. Let's be real. You know, and that's what he's doing, man. He's making money in the process. He's trending. I still personally feel Tommy's going to get more out of this deal than he is, but that is what it is when you are a Negro in America. Sincere, do you have any more thoughts here?
No, just for everyone to leave their comment below. Let us know what you think. If you're a newbie, you can subscribe to our channel. Also, in the description box below, we have links to our PayPal, our Patreon, Stitcher, iTunes, and SoundCloud.
All right, folks, we do appreciate you so much for listening and your support as well. You can always reach out to us at Thought Crimes 1984. That's Thought Crimes spelled with the Z. At 1984 at gmail.com, folks. Leave your comments below. Tell us what you think about this situation. Charlamagne is growing, okay, and his name, he's able to keep it trending. Where do you think Tommy and Charlamagne's relationship goes from here? And what do you make about the situation with this particular type of mindset that Charlamagne has with this fringe black mentality? Do you think it's still able to be workable in the current climate dealing with black people and whatnot, what we've seen with the alt-right movement? This is your boy Prince Solomon.
And your girl Sincere.
Peace.
I saw the check, nigga. Huh?